living all the way out here in the middle of a snowy forest. Humans can be pretty stubborn when they want to, huh? You're part of that category too, Adele. You're dissing yourself. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong, per se. We are pretty stubborn, but, you know, come on. Have a little faith. Hello there, friends, and welcome back to more Bravely Default 2. Last time, we helped, which one of you is Clint again? This is awkward. We helped these brothers with their little problem here and obtained the asterisk of the salve maker. I don't know why I said it like that. We'll be waiting a little bit to see what exactly this job can do, but trust me, it is a really, really good one. It's also optional, so make sure you come and grab it. It's pretty important. Anyways, I left off last time. Wow, voice crack there. I left off last time looking at this book here, and I didn't really want to talk about it then, so let's talk about it now. The Mayor's Diary. Finally, I have a moment to myself to grab me quill and get a few thoughts down on paper. To think it was only a week ago that we got our first inkling of what was in store. Then, before we knew it, an awful sickness had spread like wildfire. Most of the villagers were out for the count. Now, I know the odd thing about medicines and potions and what have you, but I wouldn't call myself a professional by any means. Normally, I'd ask the neighboring villages for help, but we've been completely snowed in lately. To be honest, I thought we were done for. And then, what do you know? A good old-fashioned miracle. 4 heroes chose that very moment to pay Anderno a visit. I told them about the dire straits we were in, and they knew just what to do. They went and fetched some special herb and used it to make a cure. Long story short, they saved the village. Everyone was over the moon, of course, and we weren't shy about letting them know how much we appreciated what they had done. A few days later, they set off again, but before they left, one of their number, a woman by the name of Eileen, said she wanted to give me a present to thank us for our hospitality. Well, imagine the look on my face when she handed me a stonking great precious stone. Apparently, it's a magic yoke called an asterisk that grants its owner healing powers. For a village like ours, out in the back of beyond, it's a priceless artifact, no doubt about it. Safe to say, I couldn't thank her enough for the generosity. After they left, I started hearing rumors of a group of 4 heroes of light who were doing the rounds, helping all sorts of folks around the place. Well, I think I have a fair idea about who those 4 heroes might be. I wish them the best on their journey. May the road rise to meet them, and the wind always be at their back. So this is actually telling the story of a previous mayor of Anderno interacting with the heroes of light of old, aka Sir Sloan, Lady Emma, and now we know a 3rd member of their group, Eileen. What am I talking about, 3rd member? We technically already know who the 4th member is. So, yeah, we know who all 4 members of the old heroes of light are. We just don't really know much about Eileen. I'm sure we'll get into her later. Either way, this is about it for us here in Anderno. It was a nice little sidetrack, but we have Rheimdall to go visit, and we're not going to be dawdling any longer. Let's go ahead and head that way. Ideally, I can run into some beasties on our way there. That way I can get access to some more beasties. I don't know why I keep saying that. And maybe can get Elvis to a higher level on Red Mage. I don't want him staying on that job the entire time, so hopefully I can get what I want and be done with it. Oh wait, hang on, we've got new enemies here. Let's go ahead and examine you guys. Flan Bonero and the Cuckoo Clan. Kukulkan, that sounds right. And then we'll just do 2 mowdowns. 1500 HP and 2400 HP. Okay, that's a tanky boy. And they absorb water. Okay. That's not great. It's not bad, but it's not great. Yep, there's Elvis with his special move that will do absolutely nothing right now. I do not have Berserker stuff on. That's not good. Hopefully this is enough to kill. I don't like that they counter physical attacks. Okay.
Not cold at all.
I love the victory completion quotes. Obviously you hear a lot of the same ones constantly, but there's some diamonds in the rough there, where whether you're entering a new area for the first time and they'll comment on it, or each dungeon kind of has like at least one unique quote. I don't know, it's really nice. It makes it to where the monotony of just going through random battles, going through the motions, it gives you something to look forward to. At least I do. There's a lot of lines you probably won't hear. There's Vengeful Souls. They're immune to water. All right, my ice brand is slowly running out of uses. I see that writing on the wall. Which is funny, because usually this is around the point where you'd get one.
Hardly worth the bother.
Developer's being cheeky. I could swap her over to the Flame Tongue if I want her to get as much damage as possible, but I think I'm going to hold off on that. I might just swap her weapon here with something else. What would we get from this chest? The Alistair. That's a cool sounding axe. Let's see here. A blood red axe favored by the finest executioners. It does boost our damage. The only thing it really lowers is our crit chance. Yeah, sure. Yeah, look at that. It looks so cool. Also, something I want to mention is that Rheimdall's overworld has a treasure map all to its own. That treasure icon for Divining Rod is exclusive to this area. You do not need to worry about missing out on treasure chests because you don't have another area unlocked. Everything you see in that bottom right icon, those 7 chests, those are all locked here to Rheimdall. We go across this bridge. There's this large ice area that we can walk around in. But again, I don't want to dawdle too much. We should just head straight for Rheimdall. Crossing the bridge is our main way to get over there. And we can see very soon on our map, we should be entering the Rheimdall outskirts here pretty soon. Also, the artwork in the map there is really nice. Let's grab this treasure chest. Another nasty surprise, because of course there is.
Let's start, pal. Nothing like a battle to get a guy warmed up.
I feel you, Seth. You gotta keep moving, you know? What do we get? Arctic winds. Okay. Especially since you're in that heavy plate armor, I'm assuming the joints will get frozen up eventually. You gotta keep moving. Oh, looky there.
Weird.
You okay, Adele?
I'm sure this place used to be a lot colder. There was a huge glacier right there. No trace of it now, though.
Could it have melted? That might explain the sudden change in the sea levels.
The wisdom of the line of Musa lives on in you, I see.
Huh? Who said that?
Aye, down here.
Whoa. It's some kind of weird lizard.
It's very rude to call us lizards, I'll have you know.
Gwillem! Hey there, little guy. It's been a while.
You two know each other?
Sure. We, ran into each other once or twice when I was in the area.
You understand us and can speak our language. You're a dragon, aren't you?
A dragon? Like a monster from a kid's story?
First lizard, now monster. You're not very nice, are you? I am Mighty Gwillem, of the ancient and venerated Draconic line.
And what brings you this close to town, Mighty Gwillem?
The stink of death, actually. I followed it here all the way from home.
What do you mean, the stink of death?
Well, how can I put it? It's like the smell of lots of life disappearing. Human life, to be precise. Can I come with you? I want to go and see what's been going on for myself. Oh, I'm also supposed to tell you.
In you go.
Wait, I need to tell it.
You just stay nice and quiet in there, okay?
How very dare you! Did you not hear the part about me being of the noble Draconic line?
Oh, quit being such a baby. It won't be for long.
Gwillem is now accompanying the party. My apologies. The mighty Gwillem is now accompanying the party. Also, lay off Seth, man. He's a foreigner. He doesn't understand what's going on. Ooh, party chat. This is actually a rare one. I always miss this one because I march right into Rheimdall. A frosty welcome. You know what? I've just remembered a story Lady Emma told me. I'm warning you though, it's a wee bit scary. A traveler got caught in a terrible blizzard, and it sought shelter in the first town he came across. He found a fireplace there, and went to warm himself beside it. When all of a sudden, his nose fell clean off his face. Ooh, okay, frostbite. Ew, what kind of story is that? His nose had frozen up in the cold, and it must have warmed up too quickly in front of the fire. It melted right off. Guess we do need to be careful. The weather around here can be brutal. Aye. But it's not as cold as I had worried it might be, I have to say. You think it could have something to do with another crystal? Maybe. We best hurry to Rheimdall to find out, eh? Our wee lizard friend certainly seems to think something funny is afoot. You heard what he said. They don't like being called lizards. And the people around here worship dragons like gods. So try not to call him that in front of any locals. Speaking of Gwillem, how's he doing? I think he's asleep. It does look pretty comfortable in there. Ha! Very godlike. You have yourself a nice little snooze, eh, wee man? Like how the red mages are talking. The snowbound land. Welcome to Rheimdall.
Well, nothing much seems amiss round here. Looks like a nice, safe, normal little town to me.
Well, looks can be deceiving. This is where the death smell's coming from for sure. Ugh, that stinks of it. Oh, while I've got your attention, I'm supposed to...
I thought I told you to stay in there and be quiet.
No, wait!
Have you heard? They found another fairy.
Another one? It beggars belief.
Yeah, they're just about to call upon the Lord's judgment now.
Really? Blimey. Better get down to the square quick then, eh?
First dragons, now fairies. I take back what I said about this place being normal.
But didn't the fairies all disappear many years ago?
Yeah. I mean, at least I heard they did.
They mentioned the Lord's judgment. Does that mean they're going to ask some kind of god to help them?
That would be my guess, yeah. But this being Rheimdall, they'd be asking a dragon. They have those instead of gods here. I've never heard of anything like this happening here before, though.
Guess we better go take a look at this judgment for ourselves.
Adele stuffs the mighty Gwillem into her bag. We found fairies. This is becoming a proper high fantasy setting now. Dragons, fairies. Let's see if we can talk to some of these people here. Can you believe they found another fairy? Wonder who's in it for it this time. Ooh. Looks like we can't go this way. That priest of some kind is blocking our way. So, we move up to the square here. The judgments are a sacred ritual here in Rheimdall. You're welcome to watch, but don't make a nuisance of yourself, alright?
You stand accused of the most heinous of crimes, that of being a nefarious fairy in disguise.
But, Bishop Helio, I never...
Hush, child. I pray as fervently as you do that these abominable accusations are proved false. But though a single drop of wine tainteth a pail of clearest water, still doth the blemish remain. Such is the nature of suspicion. And so we turn to the purifying judgment of the holy, that your innocence might be demonstrated beyond all doubt. Call upon the Lord of Dragons, who watcheth o'er us all. Ask of him that your guiltlessness be confirmed.
All right. I hereby call upon your judgment. Lord of Dragons, watch over me!
Lord of Dragons, watch over us all!
Lord of Dragons, watch over us all!
What's going on here? This doesn't feel right. She jumped!
Lord of Dragons, watch over us all!
Lord of Dragons, watch over us all!
Why are you all just standing there? She jumped, damn it!
Straight into the arms of the Lord!
That she might be judged and found free of sin.
But she'll...
If her faith is strong, she will be returned to us soon enough.
Archbishop Dominic!
But how can you be sure?
How dare you ask such a thing? And of the Archbishop, too!
Come, children. We cannot expect these wanderers to know of our ways. Reimdall welcomes you with open arms, friends. Join me at the Hall of High Holies. There I will teach you a little of his draconic majesty.
My sister was no fairy. How could they?
If this is what they're up to, it's no wonder the priests stink so bad.
This wasn't the first time, was it?
Not even close, I'm afraid.
Sounds like we need to go and ask a certain someone a few questions. To the Hall of High Holies.
You sure we want to just go barging in there?
It's not barging in if he invited us, is it?
Guess it's as good a place as any to ask about the fire crystal.
Yes. Come on.
You know, I was pretty upbeat and happy about going into a new city, but now I'm not so sure. This can't go on. What the heck is going on here? That woman jumped and nobody did anything to stop her. No, if anything, people seem to think that what those priests were doing was praiseworthy. Reimdall's always been a super religious place, but this is different. Something's changed here since the last time I visited. Yeah, none of this is part of the teachings. None of this is what Dad wants. And did you see it in those people's eyes? The fear. Yeah, but who wouldn't be scared? If I thought I might be next in line, I'd be frightened too. And I certainly wouldn't be taking the risk of complaining about what was going on. They don't have any choice but to go along with all this fairy hunting craziness. And the more they go along with it, the worse it'll get. This can't continue. The stink of death will only be getting worse if this is what they're up to. And they're doing it to themselves. Sometimes I really don't understand humans. This place used to be so peaceful. Well, let's ask around and then head to the Hall of High Holies, I guess. Reimdall's protected by the Lord of Dragons. That's why no one's ever been able to conquer us. And as long as we worship him faithfully and do everything he says, he'll carry on protecting us. Does he really want people jumping to their presumed deaths over faith? The fairies are the sworn enemies of the Lord of Dragons. They disguise themselves as humans so they can live among us in secret. It's our sacred duty to unmask and eliminate them all. But why? The girl who jumped was my daughter. She was no fairy. She was nothing of the sort. It's just all lies. Who would do something like this to us? Sorry, have I ever seen the Lord of Dragons? Of course not. No one has. Even the Archbishop only hears him. I thought everyone knew that. Sorry, I'm a foreigner. No one's ever returned after jumping into the jaws of judgment, you know. I mean, of course they haven't. That's the whole point. Crikey, did I say that out loud? I didn't mean... I mean, I didn't say anything. Nothing. And it definitely was not about the judgments. People are afraid to comment on it. That so-called judgment was an execution in all but name. What could have conceived these people of its merit? Could the fire crystal be involved somehow? We must do what we can to find out. If you're curious, you can access the shops and whatnot here in Reimdall already. Speaking of, I should probably grab my expeditions. Thankfully, the kind old lady has made her journey all the way here so we can take our exploration stuff. Melodies found some treasure for us. Booster Bun magic attack. Epeko found something. Restorative power. And then ours found something. 2 small JP orbs. Okay, that was not a great exploration, but maybe the next one will be good. Thank you, boat-lending woman. I've always been a big fan of Adele's no-nonsense attitude, but we do need to be a wee bit sensitive about these people's religion. I mean, we don't want to turn the whole town against us, so let's just be careful and take things slow, eh? But not too slow or we might freeze to death. I agree, we need to be at least somewhat careful about what we say and do. You know, we don't want to offend these people, even if we think their methods are wrong. This isn't the Lord of Dragon's will. He wouldn't want anything to do with what's been happening. We have to put a stop to it. I agree. Also, nice cat there. I have a black cat of my own. Very, very sweet girl. I worship the Lord of Dragons, of course I do, but I don't ask him to help me with my work like some people. A blacksmith's gotta take responsibilities for his own products, that's what I believe. If they're not up to scratch, then it's up to me to get better at my job. If you feel the need to start praying every time you mess up, then blacksmithing's probably not the game for you. It seems like some people are pretty okay with how things are going on, or at least pretty numb to it. Hey, Adele. If you're worried, just wait here. I'll be happy to go and give that so-called priest a piece of my mind alone. No, we're going together, that's for sure. Let's go ahead and stop dawdling, and head for the Hall of High Holies.
Welcome, friends, to this, the house of our Lord.
Yeah, thanks. Now, do you want to tell us about that execution back there?
This is how it appeared to you, who come to us from afar? No, friend. What you witnessed was the purest expression of belief.
Belief? You guys worship the Lord of Dragons, right?
So you know a little of our customs. That we are able to dwell here, in the heart of the snows, amid the endless winter. All is thanks to his draconic majesty.
Oh, and that woman jumping? That was thanks to him too?
No, that was an act of our sister's choosing. She wished to prove herself innocent of being that which offends our Lord more than all else. A member of the accursed race of fairies.
But how would throwing oneself to one's doom prove anything?
As those who know of fairy kind will tell you, these devious creatures are wont to hide their wings. A fairy falling from a great height would have no choice but to utilize them in order to save itself, and in so doing, reveal its true nature.
And if the one jumping turns out not to be a fairy, no one could survive a fall like that.
Those whose faith is pure need not fear. Our Lord and Master shall see to it that they are saved.
But that's insane.
I warn you, young man. I will suffer you to speak ill of the Great One but once.
Look, maybe we should all calm down a little.
You really think that's what your lord wants?
Ugh, don't you start.
You think rooting out supposed fairies is what he wants you wasting your time on?
You doubt the truth of his word, child? For that is what it is. The word of the Master. I, and I alone, hear him. It is to his most trusted servant that he deigns to speak. And true faith is rewarded with miracles. Have my long years of prayer not seen the bitter cold of this land lifted at long last?
Come now. I think we all know that it was another power that thawed the frosts.
And what do you mean by that?
Precisely what I say.
That will be enough for today, I think. You are encouraged to visit me here again whenever you so choose, of course. All are welcome in the house of the Lord.
What was all that about, Adele? Talk about out of character.
Sorry.
But it helped us to learn something useful, at least.
It did?
He said that Rheimdall's warming was the result of his prayers, but he didn't say it was the Lord of Dragons who actually made it happen. Doesn't that seem a little strange? Given that, and the fact that he refused to give a straight answer to my other question, I'd say we may have found the fire crystal.
Are you the travellers who dare call the Archbishop's word into question?
Well, he might have let you get away with it,
But Gladys of the Dragon Guard certainly isn't about to. You're fairies, aren't you?
Huh? Why would you think that?
Well, the fact that you doubt the value of the Lord's judgment, for starters. I've got a good mind to make you take a little leap of faith yourselves.
Enough, Gladys. Allow me to introduce myself. Helio, Chief Inquisitor to the Archbishop, at your service. Please, you must forgive dear Gladys. She can be a little overzealous in the execution of our duties.
But, there is nothing to apologize for. But if you don't mind me asking, what are these duties?
We are charged with seeking out the detestable agents of fairy kind wheresoever they might lurk, and submitting them to holy judgment. In pursuit of which purpose, we make it our business to establish dialogue with the people of the town and with visitors such as yourselves. We shall pray for your safety on your onward journey. Lord of Dragons, watch over us all.
I've got my eye on you lot. Put one foot out of line, and I'll come down on you like a ton of bricks.
Crikey. Between those two and the Archbishop, this place has got its fair share of unsavoury characters, eh?
Right, that's it. You're listening to me this time.
Huh? What is it?
Dad asked me to come and find you. That's the reason I left home in the first place. Before I smelt the smell.
Gwydion sent you? How come?
Who's Gwydion?
He's Gwilym's father. You know the Lord of Dragons everyone keeps talking about? That's him.
What? He's real? And you're pals with him?
I wouldn't say pals exactly, but I know him, yeah. So, what else did he say?
He wants you to come to the Serpent's Grotto.
Oh, why didn't you say so earlier?
Because you were too busy shoving me in your bag!
Oh.
And it's quite comfy in there, so I might have been resting a bit in between trying to tell you.
Well, I guess I'd better go pay him a visit. You guys are coming too, right?
It's north of town. Can't miss it. Come on.
I mean, if the Lord of Dragons' will is apparently behind the whole execution thing, might as well go pay the man himself a visit. Next time on Bravely Default 2, we'll be heading towards Serpent Grotto to see if we can get to Gwydion. So, with that said, I'll see you soon.